I'll just keep gonna tell myself that. The biggest, because like whenever like I wasn't like getting my master's, I would just like want to read like journal reviews, but I didn't have access to them.
Right, and you didn't know which were.
There we go. Okay, this is me doing the limbo. That's me. Camera's on my chest. Made it.
I used to be really good at limbo though.
Yeah, they're pretty rare now.
Oh yeah.
I think this is, yeah, it's very small. Ooh, the rock is screaming. Get off me, it says.
My hamstrings are killing me.
Apologies, guys. I had no idea my breathing was that annoyingly hard. Gray Rock Trail, and this is actually Gray Rock, right? This is the end goal. This is me at the top of Gray Rock. This is something that I'm going to try to do pretty often during this contest prep. It's a good way for me to unplug, to remove myself from everything that is Monday through Friday. Go out there, hit some cardio, and count it towards my weekly quota. So I look forward to sharing a lot of these with you guys as this time goes on, and it's something that I definitely want to keep up with. It's a good way to get cardio, but again, like I said, it's a good way to just forget about everything and just unplug for a few hours, which is it's not a bad thing, I'd say, during a contest prep to have, I guess, some sort of almost meditation type time. So after that, it was back to the gym. Training is going wonderful. Big gulps and big weights. Big weight for me. This was a 370 or 375 for I think it was a 4x4. I was really pleased with how easy this felt. But what I disliked was the fact that I think I was pitching over just a bit too much, and that's just not going to do as we get deeper into prep. So that's one of the reasons. I mean, I'm optimistic, but I do feel that unlike my front squat, which is going to be getting better throughout most of the prep, I don't feel as confident about the back squat, simply because you're just not as stacked as you would be, even with a high bar. Even with a high bar, you're not as stacked as you would be with a front squat. And once you kind of lose a little bit of that power belly, you're gonna feel it. So all in all, I was pleased with this. I was very hyped about this day. Made it not just out live, but I felt like I did a lot of thriving on that specific day. So training is been just good, as it should be. And I think that is, honestly, I think a hallmark of a good prep is, and a good setup, is that you can progress the first few weeks. And then also it just kind of goes to show you, I guess, how excited not just I am about this upcoming prep, but usually when a lifter will report to you, a bodybuilder who lifts, will report to you that the first few weeks have been productive. They've been actually progressing, getting stronger, adding reps, all that stuff. I think a lot of it just has to do with being amped up for the contest prep, and that's definitely the case. I am super excited to train. It's still my favorite part of the day, and I hope it stays like that for a very, very long time. So training is better. Like I was telling you guys, it was getting not difficult, but definitely not as predictable as I would like it to be at this point in a prep. And that's why we did switch to the 3 days high, the 3 days low. And I think because I just burned through stuff so quickly, it's going to stick around for a while. And if anything, I might have some, I might have one bolus refeed, and then the second and third to kind of, we take a little bit off of each one as time goes on. But I think if anything, I will be able to lose quite well the whole way with this type of setup, with these type of numbers. And if anything, they'll probably just all around go, they'll come up a little bit to make the deficit more appropriate as I get leaner. And also I think if anything, like my low day frequency might come down. So I wouldn't be surprised if in 2 months I was doing something like 3 days high, 2 days low. Again, for me, the lean part, easy. My body just wants to give everything away, and that's kind of the issue here. So yeah, I definitely want to pace this out right. And I think that is probably one of the reasons that, I started off with that week 1 video, and I told you guys this is like the layout. This is what I'm going to run with for a minute. We're going to try it out for X amount of weeks, but we had to adjust right away. And I think a lot of that just has to do with, obviously it's early in the prep, so I'm still quite, I'm in a good place mentally to make decisions for myself. However, it's my 5th prep, so I kind of know how much things should suck at this point. Rate of perceived suck, the RPS system, and at the end, things suck. But right now, I think things were sucking a little bit too much initially to the point where I'm like, long term, I don't see this going well if it continues to suck at this rate, at least this early on, and at these levels of body fat. So I'm glad that we went from basically 5 low days to 2 high days to 3 and 3, and we're just gonna keep going going with that so long as it keeps working. But I have a very good feeling. My dieter's intuition tells me this is about the right amount of caloric restriction and the right amount of suck. In regards to how my days are sucking right now, I'd say the first week, the biggest thing was just like I am running out of food. That was very odd, very weird, not used to that. And then the other one I think is just, I feel patches in the day where I'm clearly hungry, and typically I would cure that with some food, but I can't at this point because I have a daily allotment of calories, and I kind of want to strategically place them, whether it be pre-training, post-training, maybe a nice little snack to wind down with. I kind of have to be aware of all those things. So more than anything, I think the biggest issue is just like, you can't just eat everything now. But relative to how we looked last week, this is kind of what we look like now. Still kind of in that tweener stage, like a little flatty, not off-season full. However, we are fuller, and we're not as stringy as I appeared in the last update. So I definitely think it was the right decision. Training feels good. My muscles feel like they have like a soul again, is probably the best way to put it. And it's sucking the right amount for this point in time in a prep. Training is good. Training is fun. Again, this is probably going to be, for the majority of my prep, my baby. I'm probably going to stick mostly to front squats, and at a certain point evacuate the back squat. But I want to get it pretty close to 500 before we do that, at least on one of my calculators in regards to I guess reps, not a true 500. That would be a little bit off topic right now. But all in all, training's going super well. And if anything, I think it's going to be quite boring the next few weeks. So I still want to keep you guys updated, but it's just going to be a lot of the same thing. Doing well, getting leaner, doing well, getting leaner. So your suggestions, what you guys would like to see more of, I would absolutely, outside of a day of eating, I'll do that at some point, but that's been done 1,000 times. What I would like to do is like whatever requests you guys do have, please, like this movement right here, I definitely want to go over this movement. It's my one arm overhead press variation that I've put out there a few times, and that, hey, this is a good way to press overhead. And this is, I think, even a better way for someone who is a bodybuilder, because it is torso supported. So your torso is not the limiting factor. And I love this part, is it like I get to put it exactly where it needs to go in my hand, and that's exactly what I'm doing. That it's right where it needs to. It doesn't have to be rushed. No clean, a mini clean before you press it up. So I love how this movement feels. And maybe at some point we can go over that one or any other movement that you guys might suggest. I'm thinking maybe dips, maybe the hammer strength high row, which you will see after this. But again, like otherwise, this is just like me dieting, starving, getting leaner, etc., etc. I want it to still be helpful and useful to you guys. So please, whatever you guys would like to see on here, I will seriously consider it. Please write that down in the comments section, because that is a big thing. I don't want it to be just about my prep and my own personal memoirs. I want this to help people and be useful to people for a very, very long time, because after this I probably won't prep for a while. So anything prep related, or maybe even outside of prep related, just a specific movement you want me to go over, please, I would love to do that for you guys. But for now, I'll leave it there. A little leaner, a little hungrier, but generally we're doing quite well.